Your brain has a secret problem. It was never designed to make you rich. It was designed to keep you alive. And that's exactly why your brain hates saving money. Sounds strange? But it's true. When you get an extra $100, your brain immediately starts imagining things to buy. A new gadget, better clothes, a nice meal, something that feels good right now. Because your brain values the present far more than the future. And that is one of the biggest reasons millions of people stay financially stuck even when they earn decent money. Today, we're going to uncover why your brain is secretly programmed to spend instead of save, why building wealth feels harder than it should, and how you can rewire your thinking to finally take control of your financial future. Imagine someone offers you two choices. You can receive $100 today, or you can receive $150 1 year from now. Many people choose the $100 today. Logically, it doesn't make sense, but psychologically, it makes perfect sense. Human beings are wired for immediate rewards. Psychologists call this instant gratification. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors lived in a world full of uncertainty. Food was scarce. Danger was everywhere. There was no guarantee of tomorrow. So the human brain evolved to prioritize immediate rewards over future rewards. The problem is that while the world has changed, our brains have not. Your brain still behaves like it's living in a survival environment. And that's why saving money often feels uncomfortable. Let's talk about something called dopamine. Dopamine is often called the feel-good chemical. Whenever you buy something exciting, your brain releases dopamine. You feel a rush. You feel pleasure. You feel rewarded. That's why online shopping feels good. That's why buying a new phone feels exciting. That's why clicking the Buy Now button can be surprisingly addictive. But saving money? That's different. When you move money into a savings account, there is no immediate reward, no excitement, no rush, no dopamine spike. The reward exists in the future. And your brain struggles to get excited about rewards it can't see right now. That is why spending feels natural. Saving feels difficult. Now, let's look at two people, Michael and David. Both earn exactly the same income. Michael spends everything he earns. David saves and invests 20% of every paycheck. At first, their lives look identical. 1 year later, there isn't much difference. 3 years later, still not much difference. But 10 years later, the gap becomes enormous. Michael is still depending entirely on his next paycheck. David has investments, emergency savings, financial security, and options. The difference wasn't income. The difference was behavior. Small decisions repeated consistently over time create massive results. Here's another psychological trap. It's called present bias. Present bias is our tendency to value immediate pleasure more than future benefits. That's why people finance cars they can't afford. That's why people carry credit card debt. That's why people promise themselves they'll start saving next month. The future version of yourself always seems capable of handling the problem, but eventually, the future becomes the present. And suddenly, you're facing the consequences of years of delayed decisions. Now let's go even deeper. Have you ever noticed that when money is tight, it's harder to think clearly? That's not your imagination. Psychologists call this the scarcity mindset. When your mind is constantly occupied by bills, debt, rent, and financial pressure, your brain enters survival mode. Instead of thinking about 5 years from now, you focus on making it through this week. Instead of planning, you react. Instead of building, you survive. Research has shown that financial stress can significantly reduce cognitive performance. In simple terms, money problems consume mental energy. And when your mental energy is consumed, making good long-term decisions becomes much harder. Poor people are not poor because they're less intelligent. Often, they're trapped in situations that make intelligent decision-making much more difficult. That's why financial freedom doesn't start with becoming rich. It starts with becoming secure. It starts with creating a small emergency fund, maybe $1,000, then $3,000, then $5,000, because an emergency fund isn't just money.
It's peace of mind, it's confidence, it's freedom. Imagine your car suddenly breaks down. If you have no savings, panic begins immediately. How will you pay for it? Will you need a loan? Will you need a credit card? Will you have to borrow money? Now imagine the exact same situation with a healthy emergency fund. The problem still exists, but the panic doesn't. And that changes everything. There's an important lesson from physics called momentum. A small object rolling downhill starts slowly, but over time it gains speed. The same principle applies to money. The first $1,000 is hard. The first $5,000 is hard. But eventually, momentum starts working in your favor. Your savings grow, your investments grow, your confidence grows, and progress begins creating more progress. The wealthy understand something that most people never learn. They don't just work for money, they make money work for them. Most people trade time for money. Wealthy people use money to create more money. That's why the gap grows larger over time, not because wealthy people necessarily work harder, but because their assets continue working even when they aren't. Let's look at a simple example. Suppose you save just $10 per day. That doesn't sound like much. Many people spend more than that on coffee alone. But $10 per day equals $3,650 per year. Over 10 years, that's $36,500. And if invested properly, it could grow significantly beyond that. Small decisions become powerful when time enters the equation. Time is the force multiplier of wealth. Now ask yourself a question. Are you buying your future, or are you selling it? Every unnecessary purchase is a decision. Every dollar saved is a decision. Every investment is a decision. Your financial future is being built right now through the choices you make every day. One of the biggest myths about wealth is that rich people save money because they're rich. The truth is usually the opposite. They became rich because they learned how to save.
Most people say, I'll save when I make more money. Successful people say, I'll save first, then learn how to make more money. That small difference changes everything. Your brain will always suggest the easy option. Spend now. Enjoy now. Worry later. But successful people understand that every impulse doesn't deserve obedience. Sometimes the path to freedom requires saying no to what feels good today, so you can say yes to a better future tomorrow. Starting today, change your identity. Don't say, I'm trying to save money. Say, I am someone who saves money. That shift sounds small, but identity drives behavior, and behavior creates results. When you see yourself as a saver, your decisions begin to change automatically. Remember this, your brain may not naturally love saving money. It wasn't designed for long-term wealth, it was designed for short-term survival. But you have something more powerful than instinct. You have awareness, you can choose differently. You can choose to think beyond today. You can choose to build instead of consume. You can choose freedom instead of financial stress. And that journey doesn't start with $1 million. It starts with one decision, $1 saved, one better habit, one step in the right direction. Because financial freedom is never built overnight. It is built one decision at a time, day after day, month after month, year after year. And your future can begin changing today. Remember, motivation can inspire you, financial education can guide you, and psychology can help you understand yourself. But none of it matters unless you take action. Your future won't change because of what you know. It will change because of what you do. If you're ready to build a better financial life, hit that subscribe button and join our community. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.